Hey guys, welcome to the finale review of Superman and Lois. Now,
I'm asking for it.
I know that, there's been one guy that's asking for it, so you one guy, you're getting it. It's a month late, and we just got busy with other things. And, hey, man, I'm a man of my word. I don't care if this video gets 102 views. I'm going to put it out there anyway because Superman series, Superman, my love of it. And we started it. We got to finish it. So because these are longer seasons at 15 episodes, we decided not to do 15 individual episodes and sort of, flood you with that. We decided to do 3. We'll have, one at the beginning, kind of our thoughts on where it could be going, one in the middle, again, an update, and then one at the end giving you a finale review in addition to the season overall. So Superman and Lois has now concluded, and we'll do some individual ratings for the last episodes that we watched, but I'm going to just go ahead and be upfront and say you should watch Superman and Lois. I think overall, I think it's a good piece of Superman media and Superman content. Now, is it a perfect piece of Superman content? No, there are definite flaws in it, especially considering the budget constraints and the CW format. I got a little bit of the problem with the focus of the story sometimes. Yep. So budget and focus of story. But otherwise, I think it's a great piece of Superman media for Superman fans. And I think it's got enough there where it can draw in people who aren't necessarily into Superman like me and Joe. So that's my upfront on feeling on towards the end of these episodes. What about you guys?
For me, I enjoyed the first couple episodes, and then it started dipping big time.
Big time
the
for
whole teen drama thing.
Yep.
It was getting to me. I hated.
We knew that was
hated Jordan though. Jonathan was tolerable, but Jordan, he was terrible.
Well, I cannot wait to get your opinion on the last episode of the season.
Yeah, and then once it started going on, I was like, okay, it got better.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to finish the series. It started off strong. I thought it was a solid piece of Superman content. It was enjoyable. And then it fell into all the things that just are not, it's not good content. I mean, if you're looking for teen drama, there's better written elsewhere. Yeah. It's bad. It is bad writing. All we were missing was a Superman needs to go to date night, and he also needs to go like bowling or something. So he's swapping back and forth. Those awful tropes. I mean, we had a fucking what was the talent show thing where it's like, well, you didn't show up to a talent show. So I didn't want to finish this thing.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, it finished strong.
Yes.
And now I would
That's the good part.
And I am glad I finished it. And so I do think this is, if you're a Superman fan,
check it out.
as long as you're willing to overlook all that garbage in the middle, then I think it's worthwhile.
Couple fast
Okay, so let's summarize. Let's make it a short video. Let's go into our individual episode ratings. Episode 12. That was the fight between...
Steel.
We fucking knew it was coming. A possessed Superman who is evil. Of course, it's not really Superman. It is Zod. And this is how they bring Zod in here. I thought it was lame that we don't get to see Zod. It's taking over Superman's body. And then Jeremy Irons fighting Zod, right, Alex? Mm-hmm. And then this battle here. I'm going to rate this episode a 7 out of 10. I thought there were solid elements, but, you're sort of rehashing a little bit of what we've seen in Man of Steel in that movie, and then just in a slightly different way with a lower budget, kind of continuing some of the things that I said on the beginning in episode 11 where they were setting it up. What about you?
There was a really great scene here where Jonathan got to shine, where he's explaining to Steel, he's like, look, evil Superman, but for me, he's a good man, he's a good dad. It's really an emotional scene. The actor killed it. This is one of the things where they showed that the teen actors did a really, really good job and could do a good job. Yep. And it's not that these kids are bad actors. It's they were given garbage earlier, and this is when they shine. And if we had more of the kids explaining to other people like how great their dad is, how great Superman is, then that would have been great. I think this episode, I actually like this episode probably more than you. Yeah, I hated the way the previous one ended. It was, again, the ending of the episode 11
Superman's
is the worst CW writing possible. Superman pledges allegiance to the bad guy, and she's actually
we talked about that before. We don't need to rehash it.
But Superman is lying to a bad guy, saying I'm gonna be allegiant to him, and then Lois goes, Superman gives up, and then they immediately do the 180 at the beginning of this episode, going, "Aha, it was clickbait garbage."
Yeah.
So
You're
it
right.
Started
and
bad.
you were right. And initially I didn't see that, and then I saw your point, and I was like, you know what, Alex is right on this particular one. Joe.
Did you give it a rating?
Yo, and wait.
Probably an 8. I think I liked it better than you
Okay.
did.
No, yeah, I'm gonna agree with an 8. I like this because my boy Jonathan actually got to do some more stuff besides trying to tame fucking Jordan. He felt like I need to do something.
Contain,
He's trying to prove himself. He's worthy about helping
You
the
agree,
family.
Joe, that he's one of the better characters? in
I
this
do.
series? Yeah.
I do. Like,
we all
Jonathan?
like Jonathan. Yeah.
He gave a great performance, and I did like the fight scenes with Steel and Superman and all that stuff. But then the power of love overcomes.
Yes.
It was kind of
Yeah.
tacky at the end, but for a TV show, I did like the battles.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to episode. What did you give it?
8.
8. Okay. Episode 13. We get more. So now the kind of arc is a little bit over. You think it's finished. He's in prison, and episode 13 starts a tiny new arc. It's like a mini arc, a part of this. It's more Tauro backstory. Him and his father, discussing their plans. They stop Leslie. Leslie is still flying around. His assistant. She makes this really desperate desperate attempt to break out Tauro. Superman fucking clotheslines her, or no, he grabs her from the sky, slams her, and they arrest her. And then General Lane has that about face. He is all pro Superman now. He says, I'm going to destroy all the weapons,
Put 'em in
concrete, sink them to the bottom. And initially, Superman's on board. Later on in the episode, he does the Superman thing where he realizes, you know what? Don't destroy the weapons because we need these weapons in case I do go bad. But I will say I noticed something watching this one. His suit is too padded at certain times.
No,
It
it's all
looks
him, man.
way too fake.
The previous one, episode 12, there were some scenes where
This isn't padded, by the way. This is real
it's all
muscles.
real.
I'm showing you how it should look.
But yeah, it kind of gave me that feel of Shazam, that big ass suit he
Yeah,
kind of
but
has.
it's worse than Shazam.
it's where.
Anyway, but it's certain light, certain thing. I was like, I gotta mention this. Anyway, but there's a good emotional episode with depth and no action. Basically, I was a little surprised by how I really like the emotion in this episode. Superman asking Henry to keep the 7734 program. And then Tauro realizing that his father was right, and there's only one way to bring back Krypton, and so he says goodbye to his father, and then his eyes, light up blue. And it was a cool shot at the end, and he basically becomes the Eradicator. That's the story of this. So they definitely changed what the Eradicator is all about, but he becomes the Eradicator who can then resurrect individually, I guess, just by
Kryptonians or
looking
something?
at them. Yeah, Kryptonians.
that should have been Plan A, by the way.
Yeah, it should have. Lana is, and then we hear how we have a subplot. Lana is shit talked by the entire town because her husband was pushing, Morgan's Edge. Morgan's Edge fucked everything up.
Yeah, I didn't like this
Didn't
episode
like
as
that.
much. For me, this one was
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you the rating for me. For me, this was kind of like between a 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like it was going on for Kyle and Lang. It's like, oh, we hate you guys. Why you got to be a dick to like the family? Like Kyle
It's
just wanted to
hard.
save the town.
Right.
He didn't know he was gonna turn into like Kryptonians and shit. But now everyone's like turning his back on him. It's like, oh fuck
Yeah.
you guys. I would have left.
Exactly. What
So
about you,
I
Al?
kind of like the Lang family a
A
little,
little bit more. Good.
But they had some good
arc is
acting
paying
there. I
off.
was like, all right, I'll give you that. But overall, it's probably I'm gonna give it a 6.
Episode 12 should have been the season finale. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that once the two Superman Steel coming together and battling Tauro should have been it. And so this kind of felt like, all right, we resolved everything, and then they kind of stretched it on. I thought that we had higher emotional peaks in the previous episode than we did on this one, and this one was kind of like it did feel kind of like a side arc after like a big finale. So I'd like this one actually significantly less. I'm gonna give this one a 6. It's leading to something else.
I think we are in agreement here. 6 out of 10 on this particular one. It's a start of a mini arc.
Yeah.
I do like the Eradicator stuff. A different take on the Eradicator. A little bit
then-
more action
yeah.
further in, but it could have ended before. Let me finish. Lois decides to tell the town what happened to avoid tearing itself apart. I think it's a little melodramatic that the town would tear itself apart. I don't think so, but whatever. Taro then explodes in blue and escapes because he finally decides to become the Eradicator. They never explain how the Eradicator, who is Kryptonian based, completely ignores kryptonite, right? So like the kryptonite weapons don't apparently work on him, or neither does the kryptonite cage. And then at the end, he's absorbing the power of the sun. And I thought it was a cool fucking shot, and I'm like, oh man, we're going high level power here. It's gonna be awesome. This final battle is gonna be awesome. So, but anyways, 6 out of 10. So we go into episode 14. This is 3 weeks later. We have a jump in time. Motherfuckers absorbing the sun for 3 weeks. And the town is now in full-on tearing itself apart. Lois then tells the town about the Morgan Edge stuff in this particular episode via the town hall thing.
Yeah, then she tells them about the military, right, and causes a chaos.
Yeah, and it's like, why is the military here? Get out of my town. It's like, motherfucker.
You just saw what the fuck happened.
Did you just see what happened?
That's why I didn't
would
like
feel
the writing
safer.
on this.
Right, the writing is melodramatic and like forced conflict. These are some of the weaker parts of the Superman and Lois series. So the Edge then comes back, and Leslie and Edge decide to go to Metropolis instead of Smallville, and we get this fight where John Henry Irons as Steel and Superman are teamed up. And it just feels great. They're a duo now, and they're gonna go kick ass. I'm like, man, they're gonna fucking kick ass. They're gonna win this. But then as they get there, they're like, there's only 2 of you. We could take you. We took you before. And then it's like wrong or whatever. And then 4 Kryptonians fly up from the crowd. It looks so stupid. So fakey because they're all in their the business suits and the women business dress, and it just looked weird and dumb. And then they fly off, and then Superman goes after them while John Henry Irons has a fight with the Eradicator. Not really a fight because he's got some kind of shield and shit. And then we go quickly to a girl is interested in Jonathan. And I was like, man, finally Jonathan is getting some love, getting something. But it turns out that she was just using him for information because the whole fucking town wants to know what happened. And he's like, I see what you just want to be the one that, gets the inside info since everybody knows his dad is now head of DOD. She does drop something. I wonder if it's relevant for season 2. She said her dad was a criminal, went to jail in Central City. So I'm wondering if maybe her dad is a supervillain or a villain of some kind that'll factor in later in season 2. Anyways, we never see each other and then we have the drama with Jordan and his girlfriend. They're full on ready to be openly in a relationship. But all of a sudden, they got to move because Lana is pissed off. Everybody hates their family now. So she wants to leave, even though she's been telling everybody.
Kyle got a new job elsewhere.
Yeah, and so she tells Jordan that we'll never even see each other. We're 2 hours away. I'm like, 2 hours away? You motherfuckers have cars because they're at a party. So how the fuck did you get to the party? A car of some kind. You're never going to see each other for 2 hours. Whatever.
Well, it didn't work out with Jonathan and his girl.
Right.
So it's not going to work out with us.
I think it's far further than 2 hours. What do I know? But Edge attacks the general who is taking the boys home. And this is the culmination of the Eradicator fight. And so it's a cool scene. He stands in front of the vehicle. The vehicle slams into and flips. I'm like, oh, shit, these are important characters in this vehicle. And so as they're hurt, General Lane asks Jonathan, who has been hanging out a lot with John Henry Irons. I like this little subplot. He looks up to him, and Jonathan has this thing where he's like not powered, but he sees somebody else who's not powered, but can be on the level of Superman. So I like that angle.
Me too.
So General Lane says, hey, you take the gun from, he's all hurt, and he gets a kryptonite gun from the glove box. Again, if you escape from a goddamn entire kryptonite fucking cage, how the fuck is a bullet gonna do anything? But okay.
It's faster than a speeding bullet.
Exactly. He takes a shot at it, but he flies up and he steals Jordan.
He's like, I love you.
That's
true.
What
he tells
then
his
Jordan, before he gets taken away, his girlfriend is there, and he says, I love you.
Sarah's like, well,
I love you.
easy.
Hey,
just started dating.
I'm not Jordan, God damn it. Anyway, so now he gets taken to some, I don't know, nuclear silo or something, and Jordan gets eradicated, and he turns into Tal Rose's father. So you have this little kid with the baby face, red eyes, and talking like Zetaro. And I'm like, oh, it's as dumb as it sounds. Yeah. And unfortunately, it was dumb. However, overall, I was like, okay, I see what you're doing here, and I didn't hate the episode. What did you guys think?
I'm on the same boat with that one. This one was probably a 7 for me. I did enjoy it. I like the little callbacks whenever Jordan and Jonathan were at the party. They see the TV. Lois is up there. It's like, hey, this is the scene.
Yeah.
And you see Morgan. Was it Morgan Edge pop up from behind? It's like, oh no, she's gonna die. That's our mom. But then they come save
right,
her.
yeah, the
so like the
throwbacks
battles
to the
and stuff
future.
like that, and the dad and the general trying to be a grandpa now and stuff like that. But
Liked it.
there was a couple of stupid stuff with the teams, but
Yeah.
7 overall for me.
Yeah, I think this one's fine. This is kind of filler. Like, it's ramping up into something which is
The
kind
final
of cool. A 6.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 for me on episode 14. Going into the finale, episode 15, Zetaro versus Superman in his son's body. Oh, shit. Crappy fight, unfortunately. I do like the one line. It's like, I sacrificed my son, to turn him into Eradicator, and then you're weak. I sacrificed my son. You haven't done anything with yours, that kind of stuff. And then we get Steel versus Edge, Steel versus the Eradicator. And while this is going on, the Eradicator is attempting to resurrect the Defense Council of Krypton. So they're supposed to be, I kept hearing, this Defense Council. You'd hear at least 2 episodes. The Defense Council shows up, and they're just normal fucking soldiers. They're not good. They don't do anything. There was some soldiers that had some kryptonite guns, and then the Eradicator turns 6 of my best men into, or 7, whatever, into the Defense Council. Super disappointing. You would think that they'd like get cracks, or I don't know, something cooler looking for the Defense Council, but they were disappointing. Lois and Jonathan then team up in order to try to wake up Jordan, because Superman is able to, at the very least, get Jordan in a state where they can go into his mind with the same process that they did the old school Eradicator body transfers, mind transfers. And I was like, okay, I see where this is going. This is like the mother's going in.
Power of love.
The power of love. She'll bring her son every time Jordan goes on the wrong path. Then, yeah, exactly. So I was like, here we go. Jonathan, and then she gives Jonathan a gun from Killmonger or whatever that guy's name was. And it looks so stupid. That gun was like a little plastic, little super soaker gun painted. It was really bad. They couldn't. I've seen the props in the show, and the props are all right. They had to give him a shitty gun. Anyway, he protects his mom while she goes into Jordan's mind to bring him back. But it fails. Supposedly, he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, yeah, Mom did it. She did it wrong." And then he grabs Jonathan, and choking his neck, about to kill him, floating in the air. But it turns out that the mother did get to him, and he wakes up and realizes he's choking, and yeah, so that's resolved. And then Henry throws his hammer while Superman. How do you take care of the Eradicator? Then Henry.
Someone was watching way too much Dragon Ball Z, where it's just like Henry is up in space prepping his special beam cannon.
Right.
And
there you go.
And
he needs more velocity.
Superman is
Damn
holding
it, I
his
was gonna
brother.
make that point.
And
It's
then
perfect.
he's like, no. And I thought for sure, I was like, oh shit, are we going to do this thing where the hammer kills both of them?
right,
And this is going to
take
be
down
awesome? Nah, this is
No.
CW. They've got 0 testicles.
Yeah.
So
instead, he just holds the Eradicator while the hammer hits him, wins the day, saves Henry from the fall, by the way, because his power level is low. He had 0 power. He's like, He's just surprised because he's happy he did. He's happy he did his thing.
On the script, they wrote add tension, and then they just forgot.
Right.
Because I wanted there to be tension with him falling, but there was none at all because Superman was just like, oh, I caught him.
Yeah, it's easy. And then Taro comes back from the Eradicator, so it's not that he sacrificed his son. It's not that it's a permanent fucking thing. He's still there. And he says, all I wanted was a family, Kal-El. And he's like, you had one. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm your brother. Why don't you just fucking hang out with me, man? It's cool. Yeah. But I'm evil because of Zetaro. But then next season, I'm going to forget about this guy.
Yeah. Whatever.
Really? Are we going to have Superman's brother at all times?
Talk to him.
We don't talk about that? Superman gives a speech then to Smallville paper to help it, not go out of business. There's another side plot where she's going to give up the Gazelle to some multi-conglomerate thing, and Lois is like, no,
here's half of the money.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and now we
half.
can start. And I thought that was cool. It's like, okay, Lois now owns a paper instead of just being, reporter. So that wrapped up nicely. Mm-hmm. And they do this Superman says the stupidest shit. I'm not the one who saved Smallville. The people did. No, they fucking didn't. You did. The people didn't do shit.
The people are trying to fight the DOD because of bad writing.
The people are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lana will also stay in Smallville. They decided that they, want to be there. We knew that was going to happen. And then at the end,
Kyle be like, "No, fuck you guys. You turn your back on me."
Damn, Joe, you can't forget.
No, I try to help you guys.
There was a few.
I've been making you guys ribs this entire season.
It's true. Apparently, they were pretty good.
Lana will. Playing at the end, they're playing Injustice, and Superman wins this time, and so it's like, oh, Superman's cool again. Mm-hmm. Lois buys half of the Gazelle. The General is stepping. This one surprised me. General Lane is stepping down from active duty to be with his family. So I'm wondering if they're gonna about face in the second season on that, or if they're gonna stick to that. Because
he'll probably be like, "Oh,
I like it. John Henry's taking over." And
it's not implied. It's not implied. It's not set in stone. John is tired. He wants to go hang out with his sister. He can't stay because Lois reminds him of his wife too much in this world, and so. And then in a separate scene, Jordan and Sarah say, I love you to each other, and they're a happy couple. Superman visits the fortress. It's all fucking destroyed. The crystal is destroyed because, his asshole brother. And he buries his father. So it's like a burial. His father is the crystal. Only there's no body, there's a crystal. It's kind of funny. But then he puts this crystal in the ground. And then John Henry, and here's I thought that was so stupid. So then a unidentified object is flying towards Earth, and they're like, last minute, dun, dun, dun. And so I thought, okay, the adventures begin again, right? Who's the next Kryptonian or whatever to show up? But it turns out it is John Henry's daughter, who somehow came from the sky, and she says to Lois, Mom? And then that's when it smashes to black, which is probably the worst hook for another season I have ever seen in a television show. I do not care about that. We know where Lois is going to fall, trying to do this thing where if they do this like torn between two families thing, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out.
You
with
can't
Lois
do that.
And that won't happen. So I thought it was the worst hook for a season 2. I was like, man, what is going to be that hook?
Who's showing up?
Who's showing up? Are they teasing another cameo or something? That was the worst fucking tease I've ever seen. Anyways, let's go for final verdicts on just this episode.
Just this episode, I felt like it was kind of rushed. There was like too much going on, and some of it just made me get more questions. And I was like, all right, well, some of these subplots don't make sense. Why did this happen? Yeah. The finale was like Alex said, there was no tension. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, is someone going to be in trouble? No? Okay, well, I guess it's over.
Dragon Ball Z Hammer Throw.
It's over. It wrapped up too quickly. Probably going to just go with the 7.
7,
yeah. I think this one is better than the previous 2. I like when shows do the whole wrap up thing where they're kind of explaining what happens at the final story. So I like knowing what happens to Lana and the family and General Lane and all these people. I didn't even mind, all the stuff that happened beforehand. I was hoping at the very end, it's like, is it Martian Manhunter? Like, what is showing up to Earth? Can we have another villain, but it's not necessarily a villain that we can kind of figure this whole thing out and get me excited about season 2? Okay. And I've written the series off entirely. So
It doesn't make you excited for
I'm
season
so not
2.
excited about season 2. So I'm going to give this one a 7. It's a rise up. It actually finished pretty strong for a CW show for me.
Okay, I agree. 7 out of 10 on that last episode. Season 1 as a whole. Remember, we all agree, I think, that it started strong, slumped hardcore, fell into a lot of the trappings that we thought it would, but then sort of came back up and finished strong, and then had the worst hook for season 2 I've ever seen.
I'm going to give it, as a whole, an 8. I did really enjoy it, except for the middle part. I hated the little drama and whatnot, but it did do about face. It made me care more about Jonathan. I was like, okay, hopefully he helps John Irons and do something. Maybe they could team up or whatever. Jordan, I hate him a little less, but I still hate him.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3 characters, Joe. They're your favorite characters. Top 3
Obviously,
characters.
Superman,
Right?
Jonathan.
Yeah.
I would say the general, but sometimes he just
I like the general.
He's just
too. I
being
like the
dumb. He's like,
resolution.
yo, we gotta do this.
Just go general, Joe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the general. There wasn't a lot.
So, what'd you say? 8? Alex?
Man, I can't give it anywhere near that high. I think that it started out as like a solid 7, and it finished at for me a solid 7. But that middle slump was so rough that like unless we were doing this review, I wouldn't have finished it. It was so bad in the middle, I did not want to finish the series. I'm glad I did.
That sounds like a 6 to me.
I'm glad I did though, right?
Okay.
And so yeah, I think that this is above average TV show, and for me it's like it's a strong 6. If people that I know that like comic book stuff and are willing to overlook some of the cheese, I would recommend the show to them. But if they're not into comics, then stay away, because I mean there's some poorly written stuff in here.
If they're not into comics or family
Or that kind of stuff, then this isn't for them. So I'm gonna go with the 6. 6 out of 10.
Okay, I was also at a 6 out of 10. I'm between a 6 and a 7. I think it's uneven. It is.
It is.
It's great.
Yeah.
Got great moments and uneven, but above average with room for improvement for a season 2. So whether that's a
CW
6
show,
or a
too.
7, John Henry Irons was your big one, and Superman's brother is the big things that we can take this. Superman's brother, John Henry Irons. I'm going to go with...
It's a little toughy.
It is. I'm going to go 6 out of 10. I'm going to go conservative. That's tough love because I'm such a huge Superman fan. I hope in season 2 we get a little less of the Lanas, a little more of the Superman. Hell, I'd even take Lois over the...
with this, it's gonna probably be a little less of the Lanas,
I hope so.
but then it's gonna be
More of the
it.
Jordan love.
It might be with Jeremy or
You've watched-
John with his daughter.
Right. I don't want to see that. Maybe that's what's bringing it from a
She's gonna
7 to
need
a 6.
Screen time.
She needs to
Season
fall in love
2,
with Jonathan, okay?
the potential of season 2 is dripping into my review because, like, that's how you end it. I don't want to see that shit. I do not want to see a season 2. We might even do one video.
You've
for
watched these
season
CW
2.
shows, right? They just kind of go, they just continue to fall into just like ridiculousness.
But I think we're confirmed at getting a season 2.
yeah, they confirmed
there
it,
is.
So, anyways, I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10. That's a tough love. I think it's an above-average show for Superman, and I'm just being hard on it because I'm such a huge Superman fan. You would think that I'd be easier on it, but in this case, a little harder on it. So I could easily 6, 7. But thank y'all guys so much for watching. Those of you who stuck with it to the end. If you haven't and you've heard about this, I recommend to go out and watch it. I do. It's an above-average season. So, thank y'all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.